Hey guys, welcome to the first video of Origin Revivals. My name is Megan. I am the co-founder and co-owner of Mind, Body, Spirit Home. And typically on Wednesdays, I would be bringing you Wake Up Wednesday, which are messages of enlightenment, metaphysics, motivation, inspiration, and everything in between. But after the 3 video series that we did in December on Jesus or Yeshua, I had a lot of requests from people who watch my videos and clients that they wanted to hear more about the truth of metaphysics and what really went on in different religious texts and what things really meant and what they were really intended for. And that birthed Origin Revivals, a video series for you guys to soak up all of the metaphysical truth and universal knowledge that I can give you. Today, our first video, I thought we should start from the source, at the source. We're going to talk about the whole idea of everyone being one and everyone being everything. I'm sure if you are not a novice to metaphysics or spirituality, you hear a lot of people talking about we're all one, we're all the same. I'm sure you've heard me say it a lot, if nowhere else. And today I want to kind of explain that. So what does it really mean that we're all one, and what do I have in my hand? Today we're going to play with Play-Doh. We're going to use it as an explanation, as a tool to explain really what we mean by everybody being one. So you've probably also heard the idea that we are all God. We are all source. God is within you. It's said in the Bible and the Book of the Dead, and many other spiritual and biblical and religious texts talk about the God within ourselves. You've heard me talk about my higher self, or our metaphysical self, or our spiritual self, or our true self. But what does that mean really? We all come from the same place. Yes, I think we can all agree that all life and all energy comes from the same place. There's not more than one origin of energy spitting things out. So how does that mean that we all have God inside of us? A lot of religious beliefs explain God as a third-party energy. A lot of people think of God or the universe or source as this energy that does things for us, that provides for us, and that it's a separate entity from ourselves. But what I want to explain to you guys is that that source of energy, that God, that creator, that divine energy, the origin where it all started, is all of us. You are that of which you came from. And that's what we're going to explain with this. So to get started, I've just got one ball of yellow Play-Doh. Yes, everybody can see. One ball of yellow Play-Doh. This ball right now symbolizes source or God, or whatever you call the ultimate creator, not the different gods that are in charge of and create other things. I'm talking about the original source, the first source of energy, okay? So this source is where everything is created from. Take a little piece of that off, and I'm not going to get all artsy on you guys because I am not, but we're just going to see if I can do this. I'm trying to make a person out of this little tiny ball of Play-Doh. It's gonna look like a star. Okay, there's a head. Okay, anyway, it looks like a star, but it's got 2 arms and a body and a head. This is a person, okay? So this person was created from this source, but this person is still yellow Play-Doh. It came from this yellow Play-Doh. It did not turn into something else. It can be molded right back into the yellow Play-Doh. It is yellow Play-Doh. This is not the only yellow Play-Doh now. This is yellow Play-Doh too. And just the same source or God or the divine energy or the creator, whatever you call it, branches off and creates people, can create other gods, other beings, plants, animals, energy, all energy. Doesn't matter what this is. It's a person right now, but maybe, let's see how creative I can be. We put it like this. Kind of looks like an anteater. It's some kind of animal. Now it's an animal, okay? So before it was a person, now it's an animal. It's energy. It can become anything. Source can take this Play-Doh and turn it into a much better tree than I can make, but now it's a tree or a flower or whatever source decides that energy to be in that moment. But it's still yellow Play-Doh. It's still source. It is still that which it came from. If you wanted a piece of yellow Play-Doh and I took this off and I gave it to you, it's yellow Play-Doh. It's the same yellow Play-Doh that I have in my hand. We are still that of which we came from. So what does that mean when we ask the universe or God to provide us with something? How does that work? What does that really mean? We have that creative energy that source has to create anything in our life. So let's take this piece back. I shouldn't have destroyed that person because it actually turned out a lot better the first time than I thought it would, and I don't know if I'll be able to make it as well this time. All right, we're back to our person, okay? Source made you a soul, a person. Here's your person. Same thing as source. So this little person or energy decides it wants to create something, okay? And the first thing you're gonna think of is a baby. We can create life, right? Now we can't, other than like children are taking materials that are already here and creating something, right? We don't exactly create immediately in the 3D. Even with a baby, we have to take physical things that are already created within our bodies. I'm not gonna get into that, but like, you know, birds and the bees. You're creating that from the materials, the energetic materials that are already here. But what if you wanna create something that you don't already have? What if you want to manifest a new car in your life, right? So this little energy, our thoughts are energy, right? So this little energy, let's pretend it's in the mind. And the mind sends it out to the universe, right? And it goes back into source. Following me so far? Good. All right, the thought energy goes back up into source. All the universe does is respond with energy that is like the energy that you have sent up. So you've sent up the thought energy that you want a new car. The universe is gonna respond with that same energy. If you're specific in what you want and you're manifesting a specific thing like a car, that energy is going to be in the energy that you sent up. So I'm gonna set our person down right here on my lap, but it's still here, okay? So source or God or the universe receives that energy and they say, okay, now we're gonna reflect that back into your life. I'm not gonna make this into a car because I'm really not that talented. So you have sent that thought energy out to the universe, source responds, reflecting that energy back into your life, and now you have a car. But it's not a third party being that granted you this wish or provided to you because you were subservient or because you did what you were supposed to. You're actually doing it. You are an extension of that source energy, that creative energy. And when you have your thoughts, that's all source did. This ball of energy did not like get down on its hands and knees and start hammering out people and trees and stuff. It just thought of it. And the thought of another soul being created or a person or a god or a tree or an animal being created, that thought turned into that. So just the same, our thoughts turn into those things. When they go back up to the universe, it's just the universe responding. You are answering yourself within that thought and it manifests into your life. So how does that change our daily life? How does that make us think of things differently? Well, first, you can stop wishing and start manifesting. Wishing for things is what people do when they don't realize they have the power to create whatever they want. Asking God or the universe for things is what people do when they don't understand that it's not egotistical to engage in our true natural state of creativity and that universal power. So stop wishing and stop asking. Manifest it. Declare that what you want or what you need is going to happen to you. Very important to remember though, we cannot manifest for other people. And our manifestations may affect other people because people are involved in our lives, but we cannot manifest for others. So for instance, if you have somebody that you love that is addicted to drugs or living a bad life or, you know, making poor choices for themselves, you can't manifest for them to make different choices, but you can manifest peace within your heart, different availabilities for yourself to maybe be able to help them. So if you think them living with you for a while would be helpful, you can manifest your own situation to be favorable of that happening, but you can't manifest their change. You can manifest people, but not specific people. For instance, my husband, if you've watched my video on manifestation from almost a year ago now, You'll see how I manifested my husband. I'm not going to get into it, but if you're interested, you can go back and watch that video on manifestation. I think I did it back last summer. But to recap on that, you can't say, I want him. I want John to be my boyfriend or to be my future husband. But you can say, I'm going to manifest all of these qualities in a person, and then that person will come into your life. But you have to be specific, because the universe does not understand semantics. I'm telling you, when I say that this source up here in the sky is going to reflect exactly what you send up to it, it's going to do that. And if you are not confident and specific in your delivery of what you're actually wanting or needing, you're either not going to get anything, or you're going to get something that's close but no cigar, and you're going to get frustrated. The first key is understanding that this energy up in the sky, in another dimension, wherever you call it being, and whatever you call it, God, source, the divine creator energy, masculine, feminine, whatever you want to refer to it as, you have to understand that it is you. You are that of which you came from. It broke off a piece of its energy because it thought that you needed to exist, and it created you. And all you have to do when you want or need or desire something is to send a thought up to that energy that is you. And then that energy that is you and everyone else is going to respond in a complete full circle by bringing that into your life. It's not a third-party energy, it is you. This energy that creates everything is you, is your mom, is your friend, is your brother, is your husband. We all come from that same place. Now though, I don't want to insinuate that we don't have individual talents and needs. Don't get lost or even a little bit of anxiety over losing your identity. Source did not create a bunch of identical energies to exist. Source did not create everybody to be the same. We are all equal because we all come from that same source, but we're not all the same. We all have different strengths and weaknesses and things that we have to work on. The point is not to live with your head in the clouds and just revert back to your origin, to source, because if you're not integrated in the 3D, you can't do what you've set out to do here. So we don't want to think in our mind that this is all we are, because we're an extension of this, and then this created an extension, and this created an extension, and we are all extensions of those. So we do still have our individuality. I know that there are a lot of posts and memes and books and blogs and stuff that will almost make it sound like acknowledgement of individuality is wrong and it's ego, but it's not. You do have to understand that we are all still individual extensions, and we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we all have our own personalities. We're not all just a bunch of yellow blobs that are, identical. We have individual identity. We're just all coming from here, and just know that here is you. And when you need something, don't wish for it, don't ask for it, make it so. We all come from the same place, and we're all going to go back to the same place eventually. And that is what I wanted to explain to you guys today about source and being one. We are all individual extensions of the same source, and all we have to do is treat all of ourselves well and know that when we need something, all we have to do is send it up, and it's going to come right back to us. I hope this was an enlightening origin revival, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys come back next week to see what we're going to talk about. It'll be a surprise to all of us because I don't know. Like the page if you haven't already, so that every time the video goes up you are made aware. Please make sure you share. The last time I started sharing my videos again, I got thrown in Facebook jail. I hope you guys have a great week. I send you all the love and light, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.